Hello, lovely, and welcome back to another brand new episode here on FS25 and the Market Gardener. Yes, we are back for another one, as you can see, actually, just before we drive off. Our veggies are growing nicely, so you remember in the last episode we planted our little plot of vegetables. So we've got our red beets, then our parsnips, and then our carrots, and then the headland across there, and the headland across there are red beets, because we could only get one red beets down this side, so we decided sort of to say, well, okay, fair enough. So that's red beets, and then each headland, we would say that, well, you know, sort of decided that that would equal one full-length breed. So that's the reason why I did that the way I did. But yeah, so they're growing nicely, so they'll soon be ready to harvest in a few months, which will give us a little bit more in the way of crops to sell. And then eventually what we'll do is, eventually we'll want to get so that we're bigger in terms of what we're shifting, so we'll have to grow more, because not only will we want to sell the beets direct, or the crops direct as just the veg, we'll also want to preserve them and put them into jars and tins and stuff like that. So as I say, but for now it's a good start and it gets us going, so fairly happy with that. Anyway, hope you're all doing well, hope you're having a great day and everything's going well and as you hoped. And as I say, hopefully we'll be in for another good episode here on Market Gardener. Right, I am going to actually hand stack this. It's ridiculous just taking two at a time. Obviously our work a little bit now has sort of slowed down a little bit. We've got the veg in. They don't need to be fertilised either, because there was grass there and I ploughed it in. That's fully fertilised the field, so for this year we can save on fertiliser, which is good, because you know, obviously we're making money, but you know, at the end of the day, it's we don't want to be spending any excess money if we don't have to. And seeing as we don't have to buy fertiliser this year, obviously we won't be buying fertiliser this year, and that's really, really good. The other thing as well is, once we get the different factories to produce our produce, then we'll also be getting more greenhouses to grow specifically the ingredients that we need for those products like kimchi and stuff like that. I'm thinking about sort of more. It's odd that didn't produce any pallets overnight. It usually at least produces at least two. But never mind. So yeah. But say today I want to try as well, if I can today, I want to try and get the chickens today. I'm not too sure at this precise moment in time where we're going to put the bloody chickens. But and excuse my the blasphemous word that came out there. That really wasn't intended. That just sort of involuntarily slipped out. So I do apologise. Hopefully I haven't upset anyone. If I have, as I say, I'm very sorry. But yeah, so as I say, we're hoping to get chickens today. And then we've got goats and sheep and stuff like that to do, because the sheep will obviously produce wool. Oh, do you know what? I quite like the fact they've added a torch into the game. But when you turn your light, when you press the F key to turn the light off, you know, it'd be really good if the torch disappeared with it too. But there we go. Alright, that's got them sold. Now we'll go over here and we'll get our produce from down here. I mean, we virtually are this side actually growing the ingredients for kimchi. We've got garlic, we're growing chilies as well, if I remember correctly. and that's looking pretty good. Oh, that's even better. Why couldn't you do that with the other ones? I mean, yes, look at that. That'll do me. Right, we'll go down here and we'll get these sold and come back for the rest. We've got the mushrooms to get. I think we've got chilies as well, if I remember correctly. So we've got the mushrooms and the chilies to collect, and then we need to have a little walk around. And I'm also as well thinking about moving up one farm sale sort of sell point from the little stall on the side of the road, because we are gradually now beginning to outgrow that. You know, we're doing very well. So yeah, we are beginning to outgrow that. So it might be time for upgrade number 2 on that front. Yeah, again, we'll take all 3. I'm not going to just come back for one. It's pointless. You know, this little machine would be more than capable of taking 3 of these pallets at a time. It'd be more than capable of taking more than that at a time, but 3's enough. And then we'll come back the other side, we'll get those other mushrooms, and then we've got to think about where we might be putting our chickens. And I would also as well like today to get some beehives, although that might be in the next episode, but at some point, yeah, I'd like to get some beehives too. I keep looking as well on the mod sites to see whether or not there's any more greenhouses with different produce available. You know, because obviously the in-game greenhouses only grow what we're already doing. So if I could find some modded greenhouses that do different produce, that would be fantastic as well. That would you know, help us along. That would be more products that would be selling in our little farm shop, which is good. It annoys me that I can't twist boxes in my hands because obviously there's not a lot of room down here, and although if I got closer to it that would make life a lot easier, wouldn't it, James? Honestly, sometimes I'm surprised I manage some days to get myself out of bed and dressed. Although, saying that, the alarm went off this morning at 5:05. I don't know why it was 5 minutes late, but it went off at 5:05. I remember looking at the clock, and it was like 5:05, and I was thinking, you're supposed to go off at 5. But I got up at 5. Well, I woke up, turned the alarm off at 5:05. And you know how you do, so I just lay here, and I was sort of thinking about, right, today I need to be doing this, I need to get that done, I've got that to do, I've got, you know, this to sort out, and you know, so it was basically sort of in my head writing the itinerary of the day out, and convinced that literally only sort of 5 or 10 minutes had passed, I got out of bed and turned on the big light, and then turned, because it was still dark outside, so I was convinced I'd literally laid there, thought about things, and you know, that was all I'd done. And as I say, I turned the big light on, turned round, and looked at the clock as I went back towards the bed to get my clothes, and it was 7:30. It was like, what? 5 minutes ago it was 5:05 or 5:10 or whatever. I was thinking, how the hell is it 7:30? So I'd clearly fallen asleep again, so I don't know quite what happened, but anyway, like I say, some days I am surprised that I'm able to get myself up and out of bed and dressed, honestly, for some of the idiotic things that I do. But so I think chickens might go well down there, down the side of the house, although it's not very level, but I mean, we could put them here, I guess, and we have got all that out the front there as well to build. Excuse me, I do apologise. To build on as well. I've just had a very overripe banana, and apparently it's not quite sitting right with sitting right with me. Yes, it was more black and black spots than yellow, but so it's very tasty, but it clearly hasn't quite sat right with me, but never mind. So but yeah, things going good. I'm quite impressed actually with how things how well things have gone. You know, it's gone a lot better than what I sort of anticipated. We could even put the chickens here actually. Although before we get chickens, we need to grow crop because we need to feed them. Yes. July. Yeah, we're a bit too late really for buying a field and putting a little bit of wheat in. Although I don't have a seed drill either. Again, we don't really need much. We just need a little field somewhere. Sorry. Honestly, you have to make the most of every day, people, because you never know. You could go out your drive one day and get hit by a bus. And I very nearly did. I mean, we have got, as I say, we do own that bit of land, the other side. I'll just drive you around to it rather than walk, because there's no point when you've got a machine. It wants to be healthy. Yeah, so we have got this bit of land here as well that is ours. So we could, like I say, build on here as well if we really want to, which I do want to at some point. You know, I do want to extend us out here. So if I can find other things, because there's no point getting 500 of those greenhouses that are just growing the same food. If I can sort of, I'll have a look around the mod sites and see if I can find other sort of, like, you know, I think it may be a bit early in the game for like orchards and stuff like that to be available, but if there's some other greenhouses or whatever available, then well worth us doing. As I say, we've got this here. We will get some more greenhouses because the next lot of greenhouses that I get are going to be to grow the recipe for kimchi. We could, you know, and we'll probably use them as part of that because those greenhouses down there, you know, they do enough garlic and what have you, you know, to last us, because, you know, we're sort of going to try if I can and keep it to 1 day months, just so as we keep the series moving and sort of, you know, keep moving on. You know, probably eventually we're going to get to the point where we're going to need an extra day or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's the hope. But I'm really pleased with how those veggies have come up. That's really good, that is. But yeah, so what we'll do is, actually, let's have a little wander down here. Because, I mean, there's no point in us getting chickens now, but if there's some nice little fields here. Look, there's one here. I think this is just stubble, is it? Yep. So that's just stubble. Is this just stubble? No, this is sorghum, isn't it? So actually, what we could do is we could buy this little field. That would be our chicken feed. But we'd also need a silo. We'd also need a combine, and we'd also need a trailer. But we could hire those things. We've no need to buy anything like that. But we could also buy the little field just there as well, with stubble. It's not too far from the farm. We've got a little tractor now, so the little tractor will manage that little distance, you know, more than well. You know, so we could do. I mean, to say we've got we could just hire the little Massey Ferguson combine for the day to harvest our crop. So that's not going to be no issue either. So yeah, we could do that. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to some time lapse. I'm going to skip through a few days now. Actually, one thing I do need to check before we do skip is what's available in the used market. See, sugarcane would be something nice that we could do as well. What horsepower? That was 190 horsepower. We've got no chance with that at the moment. Little sprayer might come in handy. In fact, I will buy that. That probably will come in handy. So I'll buy the sprayer. The baler would be quite nice as well, but that's a little bit, and so would the mower. So that's 110. That's 100. Because what I'm thinking is, that grass out there, we could make some hay on that. Get a little bale. Well, get a little bale track, because I don't think that trailer will load bales. And the only way I'd be able to load them is to lift them on, and that isn't really all that realistic for a man to lift a 1.5 ton round bale onto the back of his little truck thing. But yeah, we could make money out of this. We could get this cut to hay, or even silage, but hay really, because then we don't need a wrapper. And yeah, that's what we could do. So that might be something as well to look at. Perhaps not now, but maybe in the future. As I say, but for now, I want to just kind of concentrate on getting this built up. It's starting to take shape and it's starting to look good. As I say, I think this is going to be where the big farm shop goes if I decide not to buy the other one. But I might buy that one just because it does have people and it has a bit of life and atmosphere and feels like a farm shop. You know what I mean? So we could then start putting like chickens and that here. Which actually might not be a bad shout. But yeah, so I'd say, and then we're going to need sheep for our merch, because obviously the wool will make fabric will make t-shirts, and we'll be able to grow our own t-shirts, our own merch in our little farm shop. But yeah, I might do another, so I'm going to do a little bit of time lapse. I'm going to move for a few months, get towards near harvest, and then in that time, hopefully we'll sort of know where we're at. We'll have a little bit of money as well to play with, and we've got a little bit now. But so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, that's got a couple of months moved on and some more pallets moved. So we'll, as you saw in the time lapse there, I did purchase those 2 fields. So obviously we're not going to get nothing off the left one, but we will get a slight crop off the right one, off the sorghum. It'll be enough to feed the chickens for this year, because what we'll do is we won't go all in, depending on really how much sorghum we do get off there, which I'm not anticipating a lot, if I'm honest. But if we get a lot off there, you know, sort of 20,000-30,000 litres, which I don't think we're going to get. I think we're going to be lucky if we even get as far as 10,000 litres. But for this year, we will, as I say, we'll build the chickens slowly. It'll be a long-term project thing. We'll get them as chicks. We won't need that much food then, and we'll get them going, and then we can get the land cultivated. I nearly bought that cultivator, but it says 110 horsepower, but with how deep those tines would be able to go, I'm not overly convinced that this tractor would be able to pull that, if I'm honest. And I don't have a front weight on the tractor either, so it's a case of you know, and I can't get one for the tractor, or at least not that I'm aware of anyway. But I'd say I have. Oh, you're joking me. You're joking me. Oh. Oh dear. Alright, we'll go round, because that will take us ages to sit and wait for that. I don't quite know how or what I've pressed to get the indicators on. As far as I was aware, I didn't actually have those mapped. I don't know how you get access to these. There's loads and loads of beehives here. I discovered these the other day with this house, but you can't buy any of that. So, you know, you can't buy the house and sort of have the house and all the beehives, and it's just really bizarre. Like, there's so many beehives there, but you know, you don't have there's no access for you to them. So yeah, I'm not too really sure what's going on there, but as I said earlier, you know, beehives is something that we are going to be getting to grips with, and hopefully, as I say, there'll be some different greenhouses, and we can get to grips with them as well, and just make it so that we're growing even more a variety of stuff. But anyway, we're on our way to the store. I've hired a trailer. I've hired the combine, the header, and obviously the header trailer. So we'll get them brought back to the farm. I'll get the in-game helper to drive the tractor and trailer back, but I'll bring the combine back just to make sure there's no actual mishaps. Although we all know I'm inclined to do mishaps, so. But hopefully we'll be able to bring them back, and there'll be no, as I say, no mishaps, and we can get that field harvested. And then once we've got that done, that'll be the end for this episode. And then next episode, we'll be able to get our veggie harvested. I must admit, actually, when I started the time lapse, I had a quick look in the store where you saw it, and for there to be the actual harvester in there that obviously I'm looking for to do our veggies was just a right stroke of luck. I couldn't believe that. I was the biggest grin on my face came ever. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I know we're earning plenty of money, and we're earning good money that we'd be able to afford to buy that ourselves, but you know, it's always best if you can get it cheaper. You know, and second hands for us is fine, absolutely fine for us. You know, I would rather buy the stuff second hand than buy it brand new. Hence the reason why I'm not buying the combine. You know, because I don't, you know, there's no need to buy that little Massey Ferguson brand new. You know, we're only going to need it for what, an hour in game probably. You know, we're not going to need it for all that long, and then it's going to go back anyway. So it'd be nice as well if we could have taken our sprayer back, but say we don't need the sprayer for this year. But yeah, this is the trailer that I hired. We're going to have to get a bin put down as well. Whoa. Yeah, we're going to have to get a grain silo bin put down as well, just so that just so that we can store our sorghum. Right, I'll get him to here. Sometimes they have a little bit of trouble otherwise picking a route. But right, we'll do not a deliver, go to, and then if you could go to there, that would be magic, please. Now we've got to faff about for a minute or two just to get the header onto the trailer. So by the time we set off, he should well be on his way there, which will be... Yep, there we go. So he's now on his way there, and we'll get this combine header loaded onto that trailer, and then we'll be there too, and we will get on with harvesting that sorghum. We're so close now to getting the chickens and you know, sort of other bits and pieces that just it's another step on getting us going, you know, and on the production ladder. Another thing we'll probably do as well in the next episode is... Oh, I didn't do that very well, did I? Nobody saw that. Yeah, another thing that I really want to do as well is get the farm shop, the next size up farm shop, because like I say, we really are producing, you know, sort of a lot of produce now for that little farm shop, or little sort of stall really outside the house. My dad, bless him, many years, well, for a few years after he retired, had a stall outside of the house where I grew up, and every day, you know, no matter the weather, he would drag it out to the roadside and you know, and sell his wares, which was anything from lawnmowers to tools to garden equipment to anything. We used to go to so the I've talked about the Cheffins farm and garden and sort of machinery sale before, and I used to go there with the first farm, and that's how I discovered it, and how eventually what I used to do was on the way, because the farm was not far from where I grew up and where I was living at the time with my mum and dad, and as I was going to Cambridge, I would go by my dad's. I'd say to him in the morning, you know, before I left for work, I'd say, look, I'm going to Cambridge today, do you want to ride? And he'd be like, yeah. So right, you know, make sure you're outside when I go by, I'll pick you straight up and we'll go. And that's what we used to do. I used to pick him up on the way past, and then we'd go and have a look in the sale, and then we would, you know, we would go and have a look around at the stuff that had been sold, and then eventually, when I left farming completely, and Dad had his stall, and he was just selling plants then, and I said to him, I said, we ought to go to the farm and machinery sale in Cambridge, and he said, why? And I said, well, because we might be able to get lawnmowers cheap. I said, they might not want that much doing to them. I said, and we can sell them out the front. And he was like, he goes, oh, I like your thinking. I said, not only that, I said, there's tools and that there. I said, like second-hand tools and that there. I said, like, if we could pick up toolboxes for next to nothing, I said, tools are worth quite a lot of money, you know, second-hand. And that's what we started doing, and we just used to buy sort of everything and anything, and we used to have a fantastic time. We used to go on a Monday, and we used to have our bacon sarnies and that, but yeah, he had a stall outside, and eventually, I mean, we got to the point where, I mean, he'd sort of said to me, probably about a year before he fell ill, he said to me, he said, you know, would you consider having an allotment? And I said, yeah. And he said, because he said, I was thinking we could grow our own veg. And, you know, he said, like, we could, you know, we've got the stall, we could grow our own veg, sell our own veg. You know, he said, it's something you've always wanted to do. He said, the other thing we could do as well with our own veggies, especially if we could get an allotment each. And I was like, right. He said, is we could do veg boxes, and then you know, deliver them to the houses. So for the older people that can't get out, you know, we do like a big discount, but they'd have fresh veg, you know, delivered to to their door. And yeah, that was, you know, say that was what we planned to do. That was I sort of got in touch with the council and started to get that moving. You know, I couldn't do a great deal by that point. You know, because my sort of heart had, you know, sort of got to the point where it was, you know, where the symptoms were sort of all of the time. But he said, like, you know, between us we'd be able to manage it. And that was sort of kind of what we intended to do. But yeah, no, it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and it was just fun every day. And we used to then we started going to antique auctions. Then, you know, we'd now then. Unless he's coming from that way, maybe. But I would have expected to have said, look, Jesus, I've moved over so you can get... Honestly. If you don't want to take advantage, then I'll just... Oh, look, there's another field of sorghum there. We could have had that one as well. Still could, really, to be fair, but I don't think we will. And, yeah, so... but I expected to see the tractor and trailer there. As I say, unless he's going the other way. Coming from the other way, I mean. Or... no, oh. Why do... Oh, yeah. That doesn't go directly underneath the steering wheel, does it? That's why I didn't get it on the trailer right either. It goes like that, doesn't it? It goes a bit to the side. I can't get used to that. Keeps catching me out, that does. Right, let's crack on. Right, we don't need the straw, so we've no need to lay the straw out. Is that laying straw out, or is that chopping? No, that's laying straw. Right, we need to chop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a little bit of time lapse. So there we have it. That's that little bit combined. That's got our chicken feed for the year. Like I say, well, in the next episode we'll get the chickens laid down. I don't know where we're going to put them yet. We'll get the chickens laid down. We'll get the beehives all laid down. Hopefully I'll be able to find some more greenhouses, and then we'll get them installed hopefully as well. I think we're going to have to raise a little bit of money, and also as well, we're not too far away from these you know, being ready to harvest. So it's been very, very good. We've had a good productive episode again, and I did manage to stop the deer from eating our veggies. So yeah, I was quite pleased about that. Rudolph was clearly come out to do some grazing before his epic flight next week. So that's always good. So sadly, as I say, we chased him off our veggie patch, but it doesn't look like he did too much damage. I can't see no heads eaten or veggie pulled out, so we're not too bad. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you haven't done already, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And as I always say now, at the end of these videos, I've set a target of April the 16th next year for 1,000 subscribers. If you really, really do watch these videos and you enjoy what I do but you haven't subscribed, why not consider it? It's free. It's just a case of just pressing that little button and away we go. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.